Well, hello. We're here at Tractor Supply here in Mayfield, and we're standing here in front of some cattle moving equipment, things that make it a little bit safer on the farm for you. So today we're just going to kind of be going over some of the ins and outs of working cattle and some of the equipment that is very nice to have on your farm to safely operate those cattle.
And not only cattle, I mean, I noticed over here we got hay rings for horses and cattle.
Yeah, sure do. We
So
got it. We got it all.
Pretty much anything for livestock.
Yeah,
That you're going to have around here, it's something y'all can get your hands on, or you already have on hand.
Yeah, and one thing as we get into it that we'll point out too is the difference in some of your equine and cattle equipment and the differences in them, because some people think that you can feed horses with the same equipment that you can cattle, and and it poses a danger and threat to your horses. So we'll cover that and the differences of that as well. So
a little bit of difference in bull gates and regular gates.
There's a big difference in them, especially when you pick them up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, so right now we're standing in front of a catch chute, what I call a catch pen.
Yeah,
chute, catch pen, and again, this is not to scale. This is just an example of what you can set it up like, but everybody sees these. If you're in livestock, you're gonna know what it is.
Yeah.
But it's hard to believe how efficient these things can make your life when you go to work on them.
Yeah, they definitely can.
And I remember years ago when I had cows, I didn't have a setup.
Yeah.
I was trying to use my barn. I was trying to use 2-bys and everything else, and I was having trouble all the time.
Yeah, most definitely, and these catch pens are wonderful. That's what I've always called them, catch pens. Some people, they call them everything. Farmers, they got a word for everything of their own. So but yeah, we had one several years back. And, I was like you. I was throwing a rope around a calf and knocking it on the ground and going out there and doing what I needed to do. And I didn't realize how tired I was at the end of the day.
It talks you out of doing it.
It sure does. And then I had a bull get after me, and I crushed my ankle, and I had a bad surgery, about a 4-hour surgery.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was up to my wife to take care of it. So we put one of these in for her safety, and I thought, why didn't I do this years before?
Oh, yeah.
So they're definitely sufficient or efficient, and helps you to really be safe. That's one thing that people don't understand is, when you may invest in this, but how much more is a hospital bill?
Oh, yeah.
That's my hospital bill after that surgery. I could have paid for this 10 times over. So, once you put it in, they last, forever. And the key is making sure that you get the right equipment for what kind of cows and bulls that you have, for your herd. So.
Yeah, right.
I wish we'd have had it whenever we were loading pigs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it made everything a lot easier.
I'm telling you, that sweep, you got the sweep gates and the chute.
Yep, and that's, so more or less, and I'll just jump in here real quick and kind of show y'all how it, show everybody how it works, is more or less you'd open it up, back your trailer up, you'd unload all of your cattle into here, and that's why I always call them a catch pen, or you'd bring them out of the pasture into here and catch them. And then from that point, you can take this, you can open it all the way up, which we've got it. You can open it all the way up, and that's what's going to push them in.
Right.
So, but then whenever you bring it back this way, you open it all the way up, more or less, you can act. And so cattle's going to run from you. So if you run them all the way around, you bring them in, your cow's going to go in there. And then as you can sort them, you can do your calves first, you can do your cows later, whatever you want to do. And then once you get 2 or 3 cows in there, at that point, then you can start working.
Right.
These have a backlash, which is really good, because if you get an ornery cow in there or a heifer, as you're pushing them, if they were to try to come back and charge you, you've got that safety net that keeps them from getting on top of you. So, and then as they work in, they go into your alley and then onward into your chute.
Right.
And then as you get them into that chute, you can squeeze them down, hold them tight so that they don't get hurt. And that's the whole point of the squeeze chute. Is a lot of people think that it's kind of mean on them, but really the squeeze chute is for their health and safety, so they can't kick around, break a leg or anything like that. So
does Tartar make these gates here? Are they going to be the same gauge as those bull gates? Or they?
So they can. So they've got different varieties. This one is more of your economy, so it's like your just your standard 6-bar
Right.
gates. So
Gotcha.
now the squeeze chute is their Series 6. It's rated for up to about a 1,400-pound cow.
Gotcha.
There's a Series 3 that's more for your finishing lots. It's got 600 to 900-pound calves.
Right.
And then they've got your Series 12, which is a big hydraulic, and it's made to where you can run them in there, I mean, bulls and all.
Nice
so
stuff.
It's really nice. So,
Nice stuff.
Yes, sir.
That just sounds fun.
Oh, it is.
That
It's
just sounds
nothing
fun.
like running one in, pulling a lever, and catching that big old bull.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I like it. And again, this isn't nothing new. Whoever, if you got livestock, you've seen these.
Yep.
You kind of got an idea what it's all about. But, we're sitting here and it's a cold, pretty cool morning, and it's the time of year that we have time to talk about the stuff.
Yeah.
Because other parts of the year we're into other things.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, most definitely. So.
And right now is it's a good time to be kind of getting this stuff in order.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you talked a minute ago about not having one for a long time, working cattle.
Mm-hmm.
Feasibly, what's this look like on price for somebody that's looking to get into cattle or?
Somebody looking to get into cattle, I mean, you're looking at, for the sweep system and the squeeze chute, roughly a $7,000 investment. Once you put your catch pen or your box, however you want to put it, you're under $10,000.
But like you said, it'll last you forever.
Oh,
once you got it.
$10,000 once it's there, you put it in properly. It'll last you forever, and it brings the safety. That's my biggest thing, is the safety that people don't understand. Is especially with bulls, and then you get mama cows, and they're meaner than a bull could ever be. So that safety aspect is under $10,000 investment. Or you could have a medical bill that could cost you $40,000. So, it's definitely upfront cost is pricey, but when you look at it in the 20-year run, I mean, it's absolutely nothing. So
Sure. Yeah.
So you get sideways with a big bull or a big mama, you may not have a medical bill.
Yeah, exactly. You may not. So
any of us that's had any cows at all, we've been run up a gate more than once or twice.
Oh, you better believe it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we moved inside now, which was really good idea.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's funny because this morning we went. I'm not even talking about what we're doing, but 30-something degrees. But boy, that wind chill was getting with it out there. So
Yes, it was.
anyway, we was glad to come in. But now, I'm sure you go through this periods of the year. You got your salt, mineral. Of course, this is just typical stuff. I'm sure y'all carry year round.
Yeah, and that's in the winter the salts are very important because it's your electrolytes. You
Right.
know, and that's it's easier for an animal to dehydrate in the cold, and most people don't think so because it's not dry land out there. It's not it's not drought, but in that cold, the water is what keeps them warm. The water is what keeps them going, and the electrolytes. Also, in the summer they will sweat out electrolytes, so it's still important in the summer to make sure that they got a good salt mineral to be able to get to. But in the winter, people don't understand that it's not the sweat that gets them, but it's the stress of the cold where they lose those electrolytes. So that stress, the cold stress, they still got to have them electrolytes throughout the winter. So it's really important to have a good salt. Either you do just the white salt or trace mineral salt. To put out there to make sure that they're getting them electrolytes throughout the winter. So.
Yeah. My involvement with the cattle is just, on the beef side pretty much. You were really involved in bucking bulls for rodeo stuff.
Yeah.
You faced the same challenges we did, keeping them healthy.
Yeah.
Same diseases.
Yep, same diseases, everything. The buck and bull side of it, it's interesting. A lot of it's different from the cattle industry because, a Black Angus, you breed with a Black Angus.
Right.
The buck and bull industry is you breed them by who the father is and who the mother is. So
who's athletic.
Exactly, and you want a good mama. If you could breed the best buck and bull in the world to a just standard cow, and you're not going to get nothing. Or you could breed a mediocre bull to the best cow in the world, and you're going to get a rock star. So that cow is very, very important. As far as their feed is a little bit higher proteins, higher fats, and everything. So because they've got to have they're an athlete, they got to have those energies or the energy, to go in. They're loading and unloading. They're traveling. There's just a lot to it when it comes to the rough stock.
Isn't that interesting? You just never think about it because he's the only one that I know that that bred messed with bucking bulls.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool because you do got to look at it just like as any other athlete.
Yep. They've got an exercise plan. They get in the carousels just like a horse would, but the difference is they've got a big gate versus being tied and being led, to where, and they've also got triggers, just like you would a slip clutch on a bush hog. You're going to have a slip clutch on the carousels, to where if that bull decides I don't want to work out today and he hits that gate, he can push it backwards without ruining your motor. So, so yeah, but they put them in there and they run them a few times. They load into the chutes, and they put, they're called, we call them black boxes. There's different brands of them, but the black box we put on them, and it simulates somebody on them. We flank them, and at that point we'll, run them in and out of the chute, let them get practice bucking. After so many seconds, or after the box gets off a certain way, it'll blow off of them. And kind of like, the way I describe it is like a seatbelt. It'll blow off, and that box will fall off, and the flank strap, will typically come off. They don't tie it real tight or anything. So, but yeah, they're athletes. They get their exercise. They've got a feed program that that most of them do. And a lot of them are custom feeds. And we've got a good friend out in Texas that Total Feeds Company, Dr. Buddy out there. He really does a good job at particular feeds for the athletes. So, but you run into that even with your horses. Your ropers, your barrel racers. They're all particular about what feed their horses get, because they're not just trail riding. They're not pastures, and they are getting it. So
that's awesome. That is so cool. Of course, it intrigues me just from the rodeo side, just because, I love that aspect of it, but on the other side of it is just from the beef side, like what me and my partner does, it is hard to manage the things that can go on during the summer. Sometimes it's hard to manage things. You try to make all the precautions in the world, and you'll turn around and look, there'll be a calf sick, or it's so many different obstacles that you just sit there and it's almost like you're waiting on it to happen.
And that's especially in the buck and bull world, is they're so athletic. Their hearts are constantly moving and constantly going, and that's why in the buck and bull world sometimes you just never know.
Well, unlike us, we're waiting on sickness. You're waiting on injury.
Most definitely. And that's we had a bull that was 4 years old, and just one bad mistake come out of the gate, and when he come out, he was known for kicking in the bucking chute. And he would knock your pads off. He kicked so high, and but he come out, bucked, ripped his leg, ripped a tendon in his leg, and now he's he's just out at pasture. So
he's retired,
and he come out of some good bucking stock too, and and not cheap. So that's we've had friends that. I was talking to Jerome Davis, and he had they used to buck heifers, and to see what kind of stock that it was in, and I can't remember the number, but it was up there $20,000-$30,000 bull or heifer that they bucked, and she kicked so hard that she blew her legs out and broke both legs, and she ain't no good at that point. So it's
wow.
It can be a risky business, but man, it's so rewarding to be able to get out there and watch them things buck, and to be able to be at them.
You can perform.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful, but
that's cool.
It can be risky. That's there's been some good bulls just found in the pasture dead, where their heart just gave out, because they're athletic and they're not just out to pasture.
Working.
So
that's awesome. Chancey, you want to try one? You want to try one of them?
Nope.
I'll eat them. Don't even want to think about it.
When they break their leg, call me. I'll eat them. That's when I'll come in.
Yeah.